Many of us with chronic conditions struggle to work with consistency. Inspired by a recent Instagram post of mine, I thought to extend it to a longer explanation catered squarely at us, the chronic warrior spoonie community that does their best to work from home. So here goes. But before I begin, here's a bit on my circumstances in brief and how I learned to work better from home. I was 11 when endometriosis and PCOS struck. As I entered my 20s, endometriosis made sure that I wasn't able to create a consistent professional life. I acted in TV commercials that required regular auditions, looking fresh, waiting for hours. But I loved the work, yet I was losing energy very quickly. Fatigue was proving to be a huge challenge, but what endometriosis and chronic fatigue slowly taught me was how to be more efficient with the energy I do have by working from home. I became a tarot reader and for many years did tarot readings over emails. I had select clients come home for their readings and I even wrote regularly for various publications. It was in October 2015 when my legs were struck by a massive ehlers-danlos syndrome attack and I was on a wheelchair for a year that I had to stop work and focus on literally getting back on my feet. It was during this time when stuck in bed that I got onto Instagram and started my account Footprints No Boundaries. The idea was to create new experiences for myself without any restrictions. Tough to do when in bed, but I still tried. And today I share my health and my life experiences there. I also got involved in a couple of sports websites with a friend. This started to bring some work discipline back into my life, which has helped me today to start my website, allthingsendometriosis.com, where I try to churn out well thought out, researched and resourceful content. Here's what I have learned over the last 15 years about working from home. The following work from home tips have come through quite a bit of trial and error. I've divided these tips into 3 sections because as a spoonie, I realize how tough it can be to keep going. So hopefully the sections will make it somewhat easier. And I have a text version of this video linked in the description box. So it's an article, so you can click on it and just read through it also. So let's start. Number 1, prepare well. Plan and prepare meals, snacks beforehand. So the gap between most of our main meals can be anywhere from 3 to 4 hours, sometimes longer, especially between lunch and dinner. This means I need to snack so that I can help maintain my sugar and blood pressure levels. I also need to snack healthy, and this requires some planning, and incorporating these preparations in my routine is essential if I want to have better work focus. For example, here's what I do. So I tend to make a fresh batch of my favorite chocolate chia seed pudding every other day. The recipe is in the description box. It takes 10 minutes to make, and I do this while making my breakfast. So as I wait around in the kitchen, I can use my time wisely by getting this done too. Then for my evening snack, I make a large bowl full of a sago with vegetable patty mixture and I store it in the fridge for a week. And whenever I want to have this for my evening snack, I just shape them into small round patties and heat them on the pan and have them with some rice cakes and beetroot. I also keep some vegetables cut in the fridge like carrots, cucumbers and beetroot to dip into homemade hummus, which I make a batch of that lasts around 2 weeks, which can easily be mixed up with some leftover quinoa to make into a salad as well. So whether it's making my chia seed pudding or making a sago patty mixture and keeping it in the fridge, I try to think this through and see what ingredients I need and what I need to prepare. If there is a lot to prepare that week, then I tend to spread it across 2 days. But again, this varies. I don't push my body to levels where I will struggle unnecessarily and further kill my work productivity and my health productivity as well. Also, very important, I section out my meds for the week, my medicines for the week, in those pill boxes marked by days of the week and timings. Keeping it next to me to make sure I don't miss out on my medicines. Along with that, I keep a bottle of water so that I don't forget to hydrate through the day. Very important. Next in preparation is creating a comfortable space. Where you sit and how you sit is important. Whether I sit in bed and work or whether it's on the couch, I make sure it's a place that is comfortable for me. I add extra cushions to help prop up my arm in line with the laptop. I prop up my legs, add extra support for the back as well. So I sit up straight and keep my laptop to a level that works best for me. I basically do everything possible to make sure I can sustain working without causing too much strain. Frankly, there will always be some strain, but by changing my setup and listening to what my body needs that day helps me. Another essential is pain can really diminish our resolve. So there is only so much of a threshold we all have. So to help reduce the intensity of pain while I work, I keep a hot water bag wrapped in a towel to save my skin. So I keep it wherever it's hurting. It could be my stomach, lower back, legs, anywhere. And if I'm sore in more places than one, then I use two hot water bags and I move them around. This reduces the spasms I'm going through and allows me to work better. If you prefer cold compressions, then you can do the same with cold packs as well. Also, if you like certain scents, then maybe light a candle that you like or play some music in the background that helps you work. Another good way to be prepared is to create a list. Every evening after dinner, I write a to-do list for the following day, whether it's a home chore or the work I need to do. But what's important for me is to keep my to-do list simple. If I add too much, I overwhelm myself, and when I don't end up completing most of what I had written, it can be a tad demoralizing, which is why I break down each task even further to make it even more bite-sized and easier to manage. I know with chronic conditions there will be sudden flare-ups, which is why being realistic is important. I give myself that time, and if for any reason I cannot accomplish what I set to do that day, I don't beat myself about it. I have to always remember to work with my body and respect it for what it is. Next is creating a routine. For me, creating a routine helps so much. I prefer to wake up at similar times every day to give my body time to stand, which I follow up with a short visit to the balcony to see my plants and flowers. And right now it's raining, so I hope they're doing okay. I don't take too long before I go for my shower, after which I rest a while before I make my breakfast. Once I'm done eating, I look at my to-do list for the day and work on that. Now, all that is the ideal start, but it doesn't always happen that way. Some days I cannot work, and I allow that. But overall, knowing that I have a plan, a routine, my body gets used to it. It knows what's coming. Surprise chores or anything else that's unexpected throws my body into confusion and can add to pain. So to help me, I like to have a routine. Also, if I don't have a routine, then I cannot help maintain work consistency. And I can't truthfully say that all work is productive. When I'm tired of typing, I'll give my fingers and mind a rest, play some music, close my eyes for some time. But I create a routine for it to be my guide. The point here is a routine should help bring work consistency, and even if we put work aside, it should contribute to stabilizing the body and mind. Next point is freshen up. I want to emphasize how nice it is to freshen up and have a shower. If it's a day when you know you have limited spoons, so spoons equals energy, and you want to save some of your energy for something else, then just changing your clothes and washing your face is so helpful. Some days I have a quick shower in the morning but prefer to have a longer shower at night where I take my time. This also helps to relax my aching muscles before sleeping. But freshening up is also time with your body. It's also showing love and care towards your body that is working so hard to fight the things you're going through. So for me, this time of showing respect is important, whether it happens in the morning, afternoon, or night. But it does happen. On to my second section. So this first long session was about preparing. The second section is to pace yourself. Understand that you need to rest. When you're having a decent day, it can be easy to get into the flow of work and lose track of time, but that's also when we invite flare-ups. Therefore, we need to understand the importance of following and doing two things. One, taking regular timed breaks. Stand up or stretch where you are for a bit, take a washroom break, splash some water on your face, walk around, or just close your eyes and take time out to breathe deeply. I stressed upon timed because we don't want to drift off and lose time because we're being lazy rather than actually fighting an issue like fatigue. I think we all quietly know when we're struggling because of health or when we're being lazy. So sticking to timings allows us to be productive. Number two, don't ignore stiffness, pain, or any form of discomfort. For example, while typing, if my fingers are beginning to feel stiff, I won't ignore it. I'll take a break, massage my hands, and get the circulation going again. I also tend to close my eyes, do some deep breathing, and take a break for 15 minutes. Sometimes we have a deadline from a client, and if that's the case, then you definitely should take regular breaks. Trust me, it'll make you more efficient when you're actually working because the break has rejuvenated you. Or maybe you can put technology to good use here, and that takes me to my next part. Before we go on to the next part, the bottom line here is listen to your body. Now, the final part, number 3, work smart. I look to tackle the toughest action on my to-do list first. If you don't know which one that is, then it's usually the one we avoid doing. Many of us like doing all the small, easy tasks and run away from that one which will actually help us most, not just with moving our work forward, but with the way we mentally feel. So tackle the tough, but most important thing first. And like I said earlier, break down that one task into further smaller tasks and tackle it one at a time, rather than being overwhelmed by the bigger picture. Another great tool is technology. Try using voice typing apps. I am quite bad at this because I struggle to say out loud what I'm thinking so that the app can type it, but for many, the use of voice typing apps really help. It takes the strain off the fingers, wrists, and arms. Even the use of virtual assistants like Google Assistant can be helpful when wanting to research. Very importantly, don't get distracted by social media. It's great to use different tools that help us, but we also need to be aware of the things that keep us from using our time well, such as social media and chatting apps like WhatsApp. So again, I do two things to help me. One, I set time limit alerts on my phone and I only look at it during my breaks. Number 2, I have turned off all phone and web notifications other than the phone's call ringer. I get no alerts, making no noise on my phone. On my laptop, no social media app is open unless I'm doing some work on it. Even then, I keep reminding myself to remain focused on the task at hand and how I can come back to it during my break, which I take plenty of. Now, on to my final but most important point. Look to maintain consistency. Consistency is most important, but it's also the biggest challenge for all us chronic illness warriors. But it's also what sees us getting results. Following all that has been mentioned so far for just a few days and then giving up will not work, and a routine is necessary to help us get out of a mental rut. Now you can even work to incorporate a routine slowly rather than throwing yourself into the deep end right away. Do it however it works best for you, because we're all different. But at the end of it, I want all of us to do well, because I know how tough it is. Which is why if we, 1, prepare well, 2, pace ourselves, and 3, work smarter, we could give ourselves a better chance. The thing is, being a regular freelancer or work from home person isn't easy with multiple home-related responsibilities and distractions around you, but it becomes even tougher when you're suffering from a chronic condition. Which is why we need to create a program for ourselves, a healthy routine for ourselves. We need to figure out what works for us, because only we know how it feels. So respect that and work with what you have, and be honest about what you can manage without hurting your health. Your personal program, your personal consciously thought out routine is your guide. Be flexible with it when you need to, but still try not to loiter too far from it that it becomes tougher to come back to something that was helping you. I hope again what I have said, I have tried to explain in such detail, has made sense. And if you have made it to the end of the video, thank you. If you have your own tips and suggestions, then I'm always eager to know. So please do share in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, evening, morning, night, whatever time of the day it is. Bye.